cold calling is not optimal, right? A lot of people do leverage those things, especially cold calling still. Actually, there's a bunch of things that prospects are doing that's causing them to not book enough meetings. Now, one of them is a commonly held misbelief that you can just go out and do content and within a couple weeks, magically everything's going to work out for you and you're going to have a lot of meetings coming in. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but I would say for the vast majority of founders that are strapped for time, that are in between meetings, that are developing product, they're not going to get to that, right? Because you really need to have an expert team doing that for you. So I had someone came to me just today actually, and they mentioned, hey, I want you guys to create a bunch of short form videos. And I said, look, that's not really what we do. We don't bank on a bunch of virality for what we do. We want to have a system in place that's really scalable. So I think one of them is thinking, hey, content and going viral is going to be the way to solve that problem. Another way is thinking, hey, we're just going to send a bunch of cold emails. And the reason why oftentimes cold email, cold SMS, cold calling is not optimal, right? A lot of people do leverage those things, especially cold calling still, which is kind of surprising to me, is the reason that fails is because most people don't want to hear from you, right? If you have a list of people that you've purchased that other people have, and then you're the 50th person that's called them offering some sort of a software solution, they're going to hang up, right? You might get 1% conversion off that or 2%, but is that really a good use of your time to have someone dialing all day, even with a great dialer, et cetera, or even all the systems we have now, it's still just kind of scraping by. So I think instead of just going for the bottom of the barrel and what everybody can go after, right? Just because there's such a low barrier to entry, spend a couple $100 and you have a bunch of cold email tools or you have a bunch of SMS tools. Do something different. You have to stand out about the way that you market it. You have to think a little bit more about how you approach your audience, and they'll appreciate that, right? I think I've also been inspired by ABM marketing, account-based marketing for enterprise clients. And I think that's pretty interesting. I mean, we're not doing that right now, but the fact that people are sending, like a coconut or a brick in the mail to someone's house just to stand out, like that makes you think, oh, like this person actually cares about me or knows something about me and makes a joke. So I think it's kind of interesting to balance that. And so I like to take inspiration from ABM and bring that into ads, right? How do you stand out, but still get in front of the right people to talk to? Because a lot of times at the end of the day, when you're doing cold calling, when you're doing cold outreach, you get a lot of meetings booked, right? You can get a lot of meetings, but they're either people and companies that aren't ideal prospects, right? Maybe they're in countries that don't fit, or perhaps that they're not financially qualified to be with you, or they're just looking for a free trial, right? And all of those things are not conducive to you closing sales. So at the end of the day, I try and look at the data of what actually closes deals and how to do that more effectively.